I'm a man that thinks to keep to my word. So I'm here, even though I would much rather be laying warm in my bed. But at the same time, I want to make sure I give you this message for your heart today and to serve you a little bit. And to be honest, man, it's a simple one. I think about it like this, man. The world's a mirror. The mirror is it's always going to be a world that we live in. That's always a mirror to us. And if we look at the world we live in, the idea is like, how do we get that world we love, the world we want to be, and the one we want to show up in every single day? Good morning, everybody. Dave Fernandez. Good morning to you guys. My thought is like, how do you show up in this world that means amazing? Good morning, Arkamstra, I think it is. Hey. I think what it is, we got to realize we're a mirror to the world, right? If you want to experience joy, is there no sound? I'm realizing there's no sound. There's no. We got it, Keturah. Here's the one thing about technology, Keturah. Sometimes the technologists want to work the way we want it to work, but there's sound now. there should be sound, Nick Lees. What I was saying before I was founding out, I was really clearly not able to have sound on every other platform I go on live. Who does that? I should do a test, right? But no, here's the thing: we're a mirror to the world, right? If we want this world that's amazing and beautiful and something great, we got to realize that we are the ones that put that out into the world. Think about the things you want to see. You want to see, Instagram can hear me for sure. I appreciate you guys. If you want to see joy, you want to see happy, you want to see peace, you want to see love, man, how do we get that, right? It's always this thing of how do we get that? And this ties to all relationships in the world. This may be a relationship lesson for you guys today. You could take into the holidays, because who knows? Maybe you need to mend some relationships. If you haven't heard my podcast today on the Shift Starter Daily, go to shiftstarterdaily.com and pick that podcast up. Listen to it. It's one you can send to somebody. But here's the thought, man. All relationships, whether it's a relationship that's intimate, a relationship with the person at the grocery store, a relationship with somebody that's at the UPS store, right? Whatever it is, there's going to be this aspect of a relationship, and we're going to be a mirror. We're going to have the world be a mirror to us. And so what I think about is if you want to have an amazing relationship, good morning from Ontario, Canada, good morning, Jamie Pearson, we got to get to the point of having this life in this weird world where we go out into the world and say, even if I don't got it, I got to give it if I want to get it. Repeat this. Even if I don't got it, I got to give it if I want to get it. Interesting, right? There's a dynamic that happens in relationships, and we all know intimate relationships. We know that we all have spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends. You've had one at some point in your life. You know what I'm talking about. Here's what happens. You want this person to give you something. Why don't you just show up for me the way I need you to? Why don't you just support my dreams? Why don't you just show me love? Why don't you just give me a hug whenever you find yourself walking by? Why don't you just say you appreciate me sometimes, man? I do all this work. I do everything for the kids. I do everything for everybody, and you don't show me any appreciation. Right? There's this thing where they tell you what you want, what they want from you. They tell you what's really something to desire. And you say, well, you want that, but I don't get the appreciation when I do this. I don't get the appreciation when I fix the car or fix the fence. I don't get the appreciation whenever I make lunches for the kids. I don't get that. So why should I give you that if you don't give me this? And it's a back and forth. And you know what I'm talking about. This has happened 100% of your life somewhere in some capacity. Good morning, Marie. Because that's how the world works, man. Everybody gets to a dynamic situation where it's a back and forth, it's a push and pull. It's I'm not going to give you until I get, and you're not going to get until you give me, right? It's a back and forth. There's no end in sight of the crazy difficulties. And so I realized in life was, man, if you want what you want most in life, you got to give it without getting it first. Think about this. If the relationship is at the grocery store and you want someone to give you happiness, say that the teller's having a long, bad day and she was checking things out and she's like, man, just scanning by, didn't say good morning, wasn't very happy, just, in a funky mood. Well, you could be like, well, she's being funky. I'm not going to be nice. Here's my money, right? Or you could say, hey, having a bad day? Everything okay? Like, give a little grace, because here's what's crazy. When you do that, it leads to space in. It gives them a little bit of a pause to go, check. Oh, man, I am kind of being a butthead of a teller at the checkout. Maybe I can be a little bit nicer. Miss, I've had a long day. Something happened at home. Then it opens up a different role, right? But if you were to meet that person with the anger, guess what it does? It escalates over time. And so when I say this, I give you relationship aspect for intimacy, but I want to expand it across all planes beyond your intimate relationships into the world we're living in right now. Where can you apply the same concept? Where can you go into a world where you got to take a look? Good morning, Marvin Bates. Where you take a look and say, look, I realize that we're living in a world where man, I want to have joy. And sometimes the joy is going to come from you giving it first, or what can mirror back to you. So if you walk into the holiday season, you got some people you're going to be meeting that you haven't seen in a while, you're going to catch up with them, and there's some animosity, negativity, or you go out into a world where people are scared and they're a little bit off right now. Why don't you go out there and say, I'm going to be the amazing, joyous, beautiful part of somebody's day. And I'm going to let the world get that all day long, because when I give it, even if I might not get it, I'm going to eventually get it in return in time. I'm going to get the joy. I'm going to get the peace because I show up in that way. 100%? No. But I promise you, man, this could be a game changer for how you experience the world. Quite literally, your relationship could turn on its head. If you have a relationship where you're consistently in the moments of argumentation or argumentative situations all the time, it's like, man, why are we always fighting? Start with this. Start with doing what that person has told you they want you to do. Start there. Yeah, I know you don't feel like doing it. I know you don't want to because they keep picking at you and bothering you. And even if you do it, they go, it's about time. They're going to do that. It's going to be part of the process. But I'm telling you, if you just do that, if you lean in and you do these things without having that person do them first, here's the crazy part. In time, you get past the barrier of their wall saying, what's the ulterior motive to this? Why are they doing this? You're doing it because you care and love. So what I'm telling you is, man, you got to get to the point of having a clear realization of when you give and give and give, eventually, man, it tears that wall down. And they come out and all the things you were arguing about and telling them you wanted them to do, guess what? They actually start doing them. And now you're giving and getting. Because you're getting, you keep giving. Because they're getting, they keep giving. And wow, this world opens up a whole different way. Where it's going to take you leaning into the world you experience every single day in a different way and realize you're a mirror to it. A beautiful mirror. And yes, it's not going to feel like doing whatever needs to be done most days. I promise you my relationship is riddled with this because it's all part of the world. My wife wants things done that I'm like, you guys, Instagram, sorry about that, my phone had an alarm on it. But the thing is, you guys should go into the world today and start thinking about where can I show up in a place that I've been having a conversation with somebody in some capacity and they've been asking for something I haven't given them because I don't think they deserve it. If you could figure out what that thing is that needs to be done and pull your pride away and do that thing, I promise you, in time, with consistency, with discipline, it comes back to you tenfold. And you get to live in this space it's beautiful. I always tell people this kind of statement of how I live my life consistently, and I hope this helps you. I look at everything that I do and I say, how in this moment with something going on, what would need to be done to make the next moments of life better? You may write this down. What would need to be done right now to make the next moments of life better? Now, if in this moment what needs to be done to make the next moments better is do that thing my wife asked me to do, even if I don't want to do it, guess what? I still do it. Because it needs to be done because the next moments of my life get better. And you got to anchor to that, not your personal pride, not how you're going to look, not what your friend's going to say, your boy's going to say. You look at it and say, how will the next moments of my life be better? And if they'll be better by you doing something specific, even if you don't feel like doing it, you still do it. And I promise it'll change your life little by little by little by relationships. They get stronger, they get bonded, they get connected. People enjoy being around you more often because you're a nicer human, a better human. It's just a different flow for life. So I'm telling you right now, if you got that dynamic in life, especially heading into the holidays, start with being the one that tips the needle first, that tips the balance first. You go and lean and hug and love and give. Doesn't mean you forget, by the way. I'm not saying forget everything. I'm not saying like let this thing, don't forget it so it happens again. Like give some role and some lead and say, look, I know you may not want to give the love, but I'm going to give the love because I care about you and I love you and I want the relationship to be good. I'm going to do what I got to do. You asked for this, I'm going to do it. And then do it. Also do it without some expectation. Don't do it saying, look, I did this 3 times. How come you haven't done this yet? No, you just do it until it happens. You just go that route. You lean in, you sell out, you love, and little by little things are to come back into your world. So, man, that's my message for you today. Yeah, I had my heart hurt. It was on my heart. I think about holidays and relationship times, to be totally honest. And so I always want to make sure I give people ideas and thoughts on how to mend relationships because these are some of the times to do it. Man, it'd be beautiful to have all your life relationships be amazing. And honestly, it takes work sometimes. And I don't know if we know what that work is sometimes. Sometimes you hear relationships take work, but I don't know if we always know what they are. Thank you, Maria Jimenez. I appreciate that. Kyra Carla, appreciate it. Nick Less, you get what you give. This is true. Couture Morris, you're welcome. You're welcome. But I think these are times you got to focus on the human beings in our lives. It's a great time to do it. And so hopefully you're willing to put the work in to create something special because here's what I'll tell you. If you know my marriage, my relationship, all that kind of craziness, man, we were divorced. We were high school sweethearts, grew up together, had a kid at 20 years old. We didn't know who we were. We were just these kids, man, trying to be adults. Went to the NFL, came home to the NFL, had 2 more kids, twins. The statistics for divorce in America are like 51%. The statistics for twins, having twins, the multiples is something like 52% on top of the rest of it, right? So it's odd, like statistically, we were doomed to divorce, and we had a crazy divorce, and it was ugly, and had a whole custody battle and all that stuff. And what's amazing, man, is there was a point in time when both of us realized we needed to push the wheel in a different way. We got divorced, 3 years separate, custody battles, craziness, legit craziness ensued in my marriage and the whole divorce. However, we came to a point where we grew up. It's the best way to explain it. We grew up and realized that, man, there was some moment that took place that we were like, I want this marriage to be mended. God wanted to be mended. Like it needed to be something better and different. And so we went in, and at this point in my marriage, man, we're 4 years deep in a phenomenal marriage. And I love my wife. I'd go through our craziness. I'd go through it 7 times again if it meant we're here where we're at right now. And the only way that I can say what I just told you is from experience. I've lived this. I live this every day. I am consistently in conversation and communication and relation with people. And I make mistakes, man. And I got to lean in sometimes, which means you got to lean in. But what's beautiful, the most beautiful part about life, in my life, and I hope I can give this gift to you, man, the most beautiful part of life are the people. People are the worst and the best part of this entire experience of life we are living. And if you don't take that into account, you'll miss out. You'll only experience the bad. You'll miss out on the good. And so I want you to take into a moment of consideration, like, how do you create that good, man? How do you make something special? What's up, Jax Insta? What's up, my man? How you doing, brother? We're going to connect sometime in the new year, I believe. Man, I want you to take that lesson out of here. Like, I want you guys to take that lesson of it's going to take effort, it's going to take time, but it's going to be the most beautiful and joyous and honestly best use of your time you could ever do. Because if you get to the end of your life and you were sitting there solo on your deathbed, you did not live a great life. You lacked experience, you lacked connection, you lacked all the things that make the experiences worthwhile. So start that today. Start by having a conversation, doing the right things first, and I promise it'll turn to something amazing for your life. So that's it. Take care. If you guys haven't yet, go to IdentityShiftBook.com. It's simple, IdentityShiftBook.com. It's on the screen for you guys on Facebook, LinkedIn, Periscope, and YouTube, and Instagram. I didn't put it down there, but if you could please go get a book. Here's why. I just finished it. Manuscript just went out to the publisher. I'm excited about this book. It's one that I guarantee will give you not only a clear concept of how you've been stuck in life, but also a clear pathway to get unstuck. It's genuinely what it is. I know everybody talks about that, but it's called Identity Shift. Upgrade how you operate to elevate your life. And man, it's there's few things in life you think about that you can create and say, go get this, scream to the mountaintops. And I know in the first draft, I am so confident of the clarity it'll give. I didn't write it for professors. I didn't write it for even people that are my colleagues. I didn't write it for them. I wrote it for everybody else who's in the world, who's not, commonly in personal development, who's not a scholar in this stuff. I wrote it for someone that can go, oh, that is such a clear perspective of what is going on and how I can navigate this, and I can fix the marriage, make more money, build the business by working on this guy. It's not a bunch of woo-woo, spiritual, philosophical. Not that there's anything bad with that, because there is a place for that in our world. I'm a spiritual man myself, but it's not at a level where it's like, okay, it sounds good, but what do I do with this, Ant? No, it's very clear-cut concepts that, man, it can change the game for you. So go to IdentityShiftBook.com, grab a pre-order copy now. The book actually comes out May 18th. And if you want to do a pre-order now, you get the book when it comes out a little bit early, as well as you get some cool bonuses if you choose to grab some of those on the side. So I appreciate Chedrick, man. I really, really appreciate it. That's it. I'm going to let you guys go. Take care. God bless you. And I might see you guys Christmas morning. I might. I'm not 100% sure yet, but so far it's looking good. But that's it. Take care, guys. God bless you. I'll talk to you guys either on Christmas morning or on Monday morning. Take care.